Heading into the last week of October, we see more daylight activity from the bucks we hunt. For most of October, these older bucks are primarily nocturnal, save for the occasional cold front. But now, increasing testosterone and the nearness of the rut drive them from their beds and into the open an hour earlier than normal. Caleb Byers understands this timing well and shifts his focus to a giant buck that is living in wide open country with the hopes of a daylight sighting from his observation stand.
Well, it is October 26th today, and it's the first day of our Rutcation 2018, so we are pumped, that's for sure. It's a really beautiful spot to sit. I mean, I don't know if the camera will even do a good job of showing you, but it's one of those spots that it just takes your breath away every time you sit here. You can see a long ways, and it's just, you can see this is what fall is all about, the changing of the leaves, and we're looking into the sunset, so it's just every time we sit here, it's always fun. But we're gonna get tucked in here, and I really don't know what to expect tonight, but hopefully, if nothing else, we'll have a doe come in close. We did last time, so if one does, I'm probably gonna go ahead and fill a doe tag. So we'll sit, we'll get comfy and see what happens. You got a drink of mine? No, I'm gonna give you. Oh, big buck. In the middle of the boat, it's the big one. It's the giant. You got your rattle bag. Here, I'll film him. Give me the grunt tube first. I'm gonna try it first. I can't believe this. He was better in that TSI work I did. Can't hear it, can he? I don't know how it'll work since it's wide open, but I'm willing to try it. Well, that's our number one target deer on this farm, and that's encouraging right there. That's a giant deer to be living on a farm like this. It's wide open. But it is going to make him pretty hard to kill. That's one of our top deer out of all the deer we have this year. I mean, he's an absolute stud, and it was encouraging to see him on his feet in daylight, that's for sure.
The giant buck that Caleb calls Dakota because of the open country where it lives now has the hunter's full attention. Caleb begins planning ways to close the distance on this awesome deer. Two days later, and 100 miles to the east, Mike Reed is sitting in one of his best stands, the time-proven graveyard set. The previous evening's hunt from the same stand had produced good action, but the real hook that brought Mike back came on the way out, when he pulled the card from his nearby camera and found several daylight photos of one of his top bucks.
It's Sunday, October 28th, and Cooper and I are set up in the same tree we were in last night. The wind switched out of the north. We have a northwest wind. We actually have a wind advisory starting at 7 a.m. Temperature's about 45 degrees. And the reason we came back to this set is because this tin with the split G3 that I've got so many years of history with, I'm calling him Curly. 4 days out of the last 7 or so, he's on a scrape right here about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, heading back in here to bed. And he's been that way all summer. I know this is the best spot to shoot him, so we have the right wind. We decided to get back in here and take our chances. Late October, pre-rut, never know. Gonna do a little bit of calling. We've seen the same 7-pointer we saw last night out in the beans. And we have a doe and a fawn down here. So hopefully the activity continues and it's a good day. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. It's about 10 o'clock. Really windy, pretty slow morning. Ended up seeing, I think, 3 or 4 little bucks. The biggest one was that same 7-point we had last night, and 4 or 5 does, and most of them were just spotting out in the bedding and the timber, eating acorns, kind of milling around. Gonna pack up, get down, get back to the cabin, and try to come up with a plan for this afternoon. The wind is supposed to stay pretty high for till 5 p.m. or so. So that last hour tonight might be pretty good.
90 miles to the northwest, Brad DeMoss uses the ditch to sneak into the heart of his hunting area, a spot he doesn't hunt much, but one that he now selects as a way to get down and out of the path of the intensifying winds.
It's the afternoon of October 28th here, and as you can probably hear and see whenever Thad does a pan, it's really windy here. Instead of sitting on our food plot today and just in the tree that we'd be blowing around like no other, I decided to come down to a spot that I used to hunt on this farm all the time, and has a lot of good oak trees, and I'm hoping that these deer are moving through here out of the wind instead of up on the food plot tonight. We're gonna get fastened up here and hopefully this wind dies down, you know, a little bit less than what it is now if we get a deer coming through. So that thing just came in. He's just moseying down in here in the creek, and I grunted a couple times at him, and he didn't act like he heard it, but it made him come right up this ditch that and I walked in on the south side of this ditch. He's walking up through here eating the acorns the whole time, and this is this pretty cool buck that I just dropped. He's probably literally only 50, 60 yards from where he come up out of the ditch. I can't be any more tickled with this thing. He's hit I have pictures of him up on the horizontal rub. I have pictures of him running around with the 5x3. He definitely has a lot of character, and I'm excited about this one. It's been a while since we've put one on the ground, so it should be a fun ride for us. So we'll give him a little bit of time, and then we'll get everything wrapped up in the tree, and we'll go down and try to recover this big boy. Horrible. What? A drill, yeah. There he is. Big old body on him. It's been about 3 years since Thad and I've actually put a buck on the ground, and nothing better than to actually have one that you've been following a little bit with, and you're able to put them on the ground. We got about 10 days that Thad and I will be off between the weekends and the week, and he harvested doe last night. I harvested this thing tonight, so we're both on the board, ready for the rut to kick in full swing and get on some more mature deer. So thanks again for joining in on Midwest Whitetail. We'll catch you again.
The following day, the conditions change dramatically. The winds lay down and the temperature rises as Rick Knochel heads to a redneck blind overlooking a waterhole that he and his brother created on their small northern Missouri farm. The target, a very old buck that Rick calls Jerry the Geriatric.
It is October 29th, beautiful day. Bluebird, blue sky, a little bit too nice actually this time of year. It's 70 degrees out and I'm heading in on October 29th. So the good thing is I have a pond that's in front of this redneck blind, and there's been some big bucks hitting it just before dark, so you never know. One of these bucks could show up, and that's what we're hoping tonight. And I say we, but I actually mean just me because I'm by myself, filming myself. So should be a fun night, and we'll see if we can get in some deer. I have a couple things going for me tonight. I have a pond that's within bow range, and I have a cutting link that's been telling me that there's some daylight active bucks. I love that cutting link because you don't have to walk through the field to find your pictures. We've been checking it from the home base, which is not too far into our property, and it's been showing some nice bucks, and I haven't went in there to disturb to find that out. So Jerry the Geriatric, that's probably the number one buck on the hit list right now. He came back, I thought he was dead. We're gonna get settled in, see if something happens tonight. Oh, I hope that was true. Oh, that is Jerry the geriatric. Oh, I think he's an 8-year-old buck, and I think I just smoked him. Tucked it right in there. 20-yard shot. He came in, was on the scrape, and I'm getting ready to shoot him, and I don't know if the camera took or what, but he bolts off, and I'm thinking, oh great, I'm not gonna get a shot at this thing, and then he came back in. Oh, that's a nice deer. Oh, here's the 10. Here's the 10. I'm trying to find my other arrow.
Found the, I dropped my arrow.
I dropped on the way out. Yeah. Not the arrow I shot the deer with.
I did that on your arrow.
Yeah.
And another pretty good pile up here.
Dead
Yep,
deer.
dead deer.
Yeah.
Oh man, he is a tank.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a big deer. He's got a sweet. Look at that thing. He's got like a hole in his nose.
Fighting with some other buck.
That is the craziest thing ever. I knew it looked weird when I
Took a horn.
don't know, but. All right, guys. So pulled him out this morning. What a giant old buck. I call him Jerry for Jerry the geriatric. And for a good reason. He's 7 or 8 years old. Looking back on pictures, have pictures of him in 2013 when he was either a 2 or 3 year old. And then once he hit 4 years old, this is pretty much his frame. He didn't change much. And he had those floppy ears, so he was pretty easy to distinguish. He even had a hunt 2 years ago that I thought I was gonna kill him. He started coming into the food plot in December, and something either caught my wind or something, and he turned around and left. But was excited yesterday. Was the first time picked pictures up of him this year, and went in there after him and was able to make it happen. 71 degrees yesterday, so I didn't, it was a little warm, but thankfully had a nice setup with a pond. A lot of people are in cozy warm. Dad and I have a project to do on the farm. We're going to create a small water hole, and if you look behind me here, we got the redneck hunting blind, so it should be an awesome spot to pull the deer in close enough. And I would say that's one thing that probably definitely made for success on this buck. I mean, the does were in there drinking out of that pond, and I think he was probably going to take a drink and grab some grub and check those does. So all in all, it definitely worked out on a giant old deer here in Missouri, and just thankful to be sitting behind him.
Less than an hour to the north in southern Iowa, Mike Reed also encounters a mature buck that evening.
We're down to our last few minutes here. And as expected, the activity was a little bit late, but it was pretty good. So then we actually had a 5.5-year-old buck I call Felix. We filmed him quite a bit late season last year, but he came right through the plot at 20 yards. Overall good hunt. It's nice to see a few deer, and we'll be back out in the morning.
Late October produces a level of consistency that the rut can never match. While overall buck movement is less than it will be in 2 weeks, it is more predictable. Consistency is why we all love the last week of October, but nothing replaces those days soon to come when a hot doe makes the woods explode with buck movement. There is nothing like the sweet chaos of 5 bucks chasing one doe all around your tree stand. This is the vision that keeps us chasing November.